there's any indication that the complete and utter transfer from alleged faux-aggressive lefty to absolute right-wing corncob, you've got, I guess, Jimmy Dore coming out, Republicans against war. Now, notice it's not against the war, as in the Russia-Ukraine war. Just Russians are, like, the Republicans are now anti-war in general. I believe that. You believe that. Don't you believe that? Of course. And put upon Vladimir Putin, he's staring right in your eyes. He's in this thumbnail, and he needs your help, America. And this dude's probably high right now. Look at the red around his eyes. I'm sure that wasn't added after the fact. And he's not exhausted. He's just getting baked with Macron and eating mince pie and with Boris Johnson and smoking the doobies while being, a Jewish Nazi. So here we go. Republicans against war in general.
If you have trouble breathing through your nose, pay close attention to this video.
I'm not sticking a rubber band up my nose.
No, you're not supposed to go along with this because he has politics we don't like.
No. It's not just that he has politics we don't like. He also allegedly dosed a 17-year-old girl, took her on an airplane, flew her to Georgia, and fucked her. And he hung out with the dude who wanted to be the next Epstein. And by the way, Gates introduces this Fox News policy. Gates introduces resolution to end military and financial aid to Ukraine, urge peace deal. So that is not a peace platform. But let's see how he'll read it. And you know what? It's an article. It's not a video. Maybe he'll play some footage of Gates, crying into a camera in his office going, you know what? I've really had it. War is just hell for everybody, and we got to find some way to end this. Or it could be that he's just continuing to hope that pray for Ukraine to fail and continue to root for Russia in this situation.
So Gates introduces a resolution to end military and financial aid to Ukraine, and he urges a peace deal. Now, that's what the article says. I mean, what more do you need? Hold on one second. Let me drag this over here. We'll go to Gates introduces resolution to end funding. There we go. Yeah. CBS News, Fox News Politics is it? Here you go. This is the article, different picture, but those are okay. Gates introduces resolution to end military and financial aid to Ukraine, urge peace deal. Russia-Ukraine conflict has been ongoing for nearly a year. Well, obviously there's a shelf life on war, and if the people who are being attacked can't win in under a year, then they should just lose amicably, no matter whether it means the entire genocide of the people in the country. Also urging all to secure a peace agreement after nearly a year of war. Okay, the resolution, the Ukraine fatigue resolution, is being introduced by Gates and 10 co-sponsors. It calls for the U.S. 10 co-sponsors. Basically, it's the same assholes who are holding up McCarthy's speakership. Resolution notes that since Russia invaded Ukraine, U.S. has been the top contributor, right? U.S. announced additional security measures. We know this. This is the actual thing. This is about freedom for Ukraine, freedom everywhere. Biden said, making the announcement about the money that was going there. Resolution lists the enormous amount of equipment the U.S. has provided. We have a Lend-Lease thing. I'm sure it's mentioned. But it also cites Pentagon officials who said the munitions have severely depleted United States stockpiles, weakening United States readiness in the event of a conflict. It's also the guys like Mike Flynn who want them to lose. It also claims by providing assistance, the U.S. is inadvertently contributing to civilian casualties and notes U.S. estimates that 40,000 civilians have died in the conflict. Yes, if we would just stop protecting them by giving themselves arms to protect themselves with, Russia would just stop killing them. Because that's how invasions work. It's pretty light on facts. I'm supposed to not...
All the wrong people want peace.
All the wrong people want peace.
They don't want peace. They don't. This is not about peace. At no point is my concern that they want peace. What they want is a break for Russia to reload and ability to actually win. They want Russia to have another bite at the Kiev apple. Russia is, like, their rhetoric is, we're taking your whole country. We're wiping out all of your people. That is not a war. That is a genocide. The Ukrainians are fighting back against an attempted genocide.
You know, somebody tweeted at me, all the wrong people like you now. Someone tweeted at me, a grown man.
That's cult thinking.
I was like,
but that's what this is. This is a cult. And I guess people in a cult, that's the thing about cults. You don't know you're in a cult. Yeah.
are you, what are you, a middle school girl?
Yes.
That is wild.
I think that's sexist to save middle school girls. Representative Matt Gaetz is introducing a resolution in the House on Thursday that calls on the Biden administration to end U.S. military and financial aid to Ukraine, while also urging all involved to secure a peace agreement after nearly a year of war in the region. Isn't this what the Bernie Sanders and AOC and Jamal, isn't this what they should be doing?
No, because they had multiple attempts, if you'll recall, last year. They've gone through this. They've had talks to possibly end this. And that all three places, Russia either had a spy involved on the Ukrainian side that was outed while it happened, or they tried to kill people who were on the Ukrainian side who came there for the negotiations.
Oh, what they're doing is cheering on censorship and voting for war.
Is that what we're doing? I'm not quite sure what the cheering on censorship part is. Is this a Newsmax thing? Is that what he's worried about? He's worried about that Newsmax got bumped off of DirecTV.
Even the Iraq War did not have this much censorship built into it.
I know.
As this does.
Well, I know. We all recognized as the country that was the instigator in the Iraq War that it was wrong, and that's why a lot of us protested it. By the way, that's also why we voted for the people we did to eventually put it to an end. Also, by the way, Biden got us out of Afghanistan. We're not there anymore. So he fulfilled that promise, finally. Is he ever going to get credit from these guys? Fuck no.
The resolution, the Ukraine fatigue resolution, is being introduced by Gaetz and 10 co-sponsors and calls for the U.S. to end
10 out of nearly 500 members of Congress.
Military and financial aid to Ukraine and urges all combatants to reach a peace agreement. Now, shouldn't every progressive Democrat be a co-signer to that?
No. Because it's inserious. It is not a meaningful endeavor. It is meant to gut Ukraine, not to reach peace.
No, they're war pigs. The Democratic Party is pro-war war pigs.
Was it?
Yeah, that's why. That's what it is. Yeah, we're if you by the way, according to Jimmy Dore, if you support rape victims, you're pro-rape. Because they were a party to the rape. They were 50% of it. Right? That's the logic.
AOC just complaining that they're doing a hearing about the half-fake Hunter Biden laptop story.
Yeah.
And we could be talking about more important things.
This would be one
such as this thing you should be doing. You're right, AOC. You should be doing this.
The resolution notes that since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the U.S. has been the top contributor to the Ukraine war effort, more than $110 billion in financial, military, and humanitarian aid.
We're not even giving our people free college and stuff.
To the U.S. We send them money so they can have clean water in Ukraine. We won't send money to America so we can have clean water.
All right, fuckhead. Literally. That is literally, clean water was a fundamental part of the Infrastructure Act. Was the removal of lead pipes. God. Here you go. How about this? Here's the EPA, bipartisan infrastructure law, a historic investment in water, 20 plus billion for safe drinking water, 15 billion in dedicated funding to replace lead pipes, 12 plus billion to ensure clean water for communities, 1.8 billion to protect regional waters, 135 million for additional water improvements. We're not, what was that again? What was the statement? What do we don't do?
110 billion in financial, military, and humanitarian aid to the U.S. We send them money so they can have clean water in Ukraine. We won't send money to America so we can have clean water. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazingly fucking stupid. Especially now. Like, if it was before the infrastructure bill passed, which, by the way, I'm guessing Jimmy is against. Right? Is that the... Is there any other possible takeaway? Bipartisan infrastructure law means big investments in safe water and lead pipe removal. March 29th, 2022. You'd have to go back to pre-war, Jimmy, to actually be, I guess, to say that we're not giving money to clean water for Americans. By the way, Biden did that. Not only was the Trump infrastructure bill a no-go from the very beginning, and he couldn't make it happen, and fuck him, but also Biden did get it done, and that money is in there. It never was before. Right? Just lazy.
It also includes more than 27.4 billion in security assistance. Oh, that's all the Blackwater rock, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah, security assistance. That's what that means. Yeah, it's just Blackwater and She and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what Biden's really trying to do. It's not Lend-Lease stuff. It's he's just sending contractors over to win the war for them, so that they can sit with their feet up, having grapes peeled.
What is they called now?
BlackRock. They changed their name.
They changed their name.
Yeah, they changed it to BlackRock. Blackwater changed their name to BlackRock. For those of you that don't know, BlackRock is the world's largest investment firm. Let's see, a piece of news about... I don't know. Here you go. Michael Burry, that's the guy from The Big Short, and BlackRock and Morgan Stanley have warned stocks rally won't last. Here's why they have little faith in the market. It's best year since 2019. Whatever, there you go. Blackwater is what he means.
Good.
In January, the U.S. announced additional security assistance, including approval by President Biden of 31 Abrams M1 tanks to Ukraine. On top of that, reports suggest another $2 billion could be spent in the pipeline. This is a
Yes, could be spent in the pipeline. That's what it says. It could be spent in the pipeline because they're going to build a pipeline because they blew up Nord Stream 2 so that we could build a pipeline in there. So you think he's going to misread it and think that? Would we put it past him?
about freedom. Freedom for Ukraine. Freedom for everywhere.
Okay, whatever he's drinking, Glenn Beck mixed him a drink. Never leave your drink down near Glenn Beck. Or Glenn, never leave your drink down near Jimmy Dore. I think you both roofied each other.
Biden said that. It's about freedom. Freedom everywhere. Freedom bombs. They're freedom bombs. Freedom tanks. Freedom.
I mean, except I guess in Afghanistan where the Taliban there, it'll be.
Well, we left them tanks there so Afghanistan they could have the freedom.
You know, we left them so much stuff that it's just rotting. Like they're not even using it.
How could they keep it maintained? They can't.
Yeah, it's because they do not have the ability to maintain a tank that had a thermite bomb thrown into it when we left town. Wait, how many fucking times do I have to do this shit too? How mad the Afghan scrap dealers are at us. U.S. trashes unwanted gear in Afghanistan to be sold as scrap. There's let's see, is there another one? Where we go? Yeah, here you go. This is from Newser. U.S. trashes leftover gear angering Afghan scrap dealers. They're like, at least you could have left it in one piece, but you shredded the fucking thing. Jimmy's never seen that article. Neither has Kurt.
The first time we've ever paid reparations for screwing up a country.
The resolution lists the enormous amount of equipment.
Yeah, you can't. Sorry, say that again.
Rotting like Afghanistan with the Taliban. There it'll be.
Well, we left them tanks there so Afghanistan they could have the freedom.
You know, we left them so much stuff that it's just rotting. Like they're not even using it.
How could they keep it maintained? They
Is that
can't.
the first time we've ever paid reparations for screwing up a country?
The resolution.
So we are. Interesting.
Lists the enormous amount of equipment that the U.S. has provided the country since the beginning of the conflict. It also cites Pentagon officials who have said the munitions have severely depleted United States stockpiles, weakening United States readiness in the event of a conflict.
Well, let's get more money into that. Whoa, I guess we got a lot of jobs.
So I don't think he really wants to end. I don't think Matt Gaetz is for ending war spending. I think.
You think?
Maybe he just wants to end it on Ukraine.
You worry about China.
Really? You're coming to that conclusion at the end of this? That you
How much you want to bet it's to worry about China?
I bet.
How much you want to bet it's to worry about China? He's not worried about any of it, fucko. He's rooting for Russia.
Concern about the continued, but I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get. Concern about the continued U.S. funding of the war has grown among a subset of Republicans, not a subset of Democrats, but a subset of Republicans as the conflict has dragged on, with lawmakers highlighting issues at home that could use additional funding, including what they see as a failure to protect the U.S. border against historic migrant crisis.
Jimmy doesn't know how to feel about that one because you can't. He sides with them on this issue, as anybody, I guess, as most people who live in the Hollywood Hills do.
Gaetz, a member of the House Armed Service Committee, said the U.S. has been the top contributor to what he called an everlasting conflict.
He's like pointing at it, an everlasting conflict. It's been, Biden got us out of Afghanistan after 20 fucking years. Russia started this last February. Everlasting conflict? Jesus.
America is in a state of managed decline, and it will exacerbate if we continue to hemorrhage taxpayer dollars toward a foreign war.
By the way, that also eats into Jimmy's talking point, which is that America's entire economic system runs on the military-industrial complex, and we start these things so that Americans can make money. So we're not hemorrhaging taxpayer dollars. We're getting rich as a country, blowing other countries up. So he'll skip right past that.
We must suspend all foreign aid for the war in Ukraine and demand that all combatants in this conflict reach a peace agreement immediately.
Just reach it immediately. And look at the list of people. That's a list of people who really love America and totally wouldn't go to dinner with Vladimir Putin if he asked more than 3 times.
Sounds like really lefty foo-foo shit.
Yeah, no wonder Rachel hates it.
I bet you're right. No, Rachel Maddow laughs at this and says, these are all the people who signed it.
Get a job, hippies.
Gaetz has taken aim at both parties for the additional funding for Ukraine earlier this week on the House floor, asking if there was a limit to the funding the U.S. was prepared to provide.
We just told you no.
No, there isn't. How much more for Ukraine? Is there any limit, he asked on the House floor? Which billionth dollar really kicks in the door? Which red line we set we will not later on. He's doing a good job with this. I gotta.
Yeah, it's great. It's doing great. Can I point something out though? Okay, hold on. Let's see. I gotta move this. Trying to find. Let's see what the number is. Let's see. And recipients in 2020 account for 77. Okay, here you go. So so far, though, up until the Ukraine war, which, by the way, is an acute situation, on the regular, we're given about $33 billion a year perpetually all across the world. The top 10 are Israel, Afghanistan, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan. Ukraine got 284 million in 2020 already. Lebanon, Philippines, Somalia, and Tunisia, rounding it out. Let's see, how much each country since 1947. There's this one. So, like, I don't guess we've given Turkmenistan all that much. Let's see. Shall we pick a country at random? Let's just say to the world. How much have we given to the world? Obviously, during World War II, we did a bunch. And then here, this is where we are. Boop, boop. It's weird that almost we didn't give a lot away for after like leading into and then in 9/11 for a while because we were spending it ourselves. And then later on was we started to rebuild Afghanistan and Iraq. Then we started giving them money.
Yeah, give them the tip. Republican leadership has broadly remained in favor of funding the war effort. Senator GOP Mitch McConnell said in December that providing assistance for Ukrainians to defeat Russia is the #1 priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans.
Well, thanks for telling me what my #1 priority is, I guess.
Holy.
Oh, so he's a Republican. All right. Well, Kurt's just, I guess, outing himself as a Republican now. There's some clarity there.
Shit, man.
Because he is.
America is not your #1 priority in this country.
No, stupid. That's a misquote. Fox did that on purpose because they hate McConnell. He's talking about our #1 international priority in terms of funding. Because they were asking about
how detached these guys are. They don't realize how crazy it is to say something like that, where half the country can't afford a $500 emergency.
By the way, that's false. Jimmy doesn't even believe that.
Your #1 priority is some fucking proxy war in Ukraine.
No, America's behind it. They're not fatigued. Have you even read the articles? There's no such thing as
There's
Ukraine
no such
fatigue.
thing as Ukraine fatigue.
I actually read that.
Shit.
From a grown man, it sounds like a middle school girl. Is it just me, or does Kurt has this weird thing? Is this like he's trying to hold down his real response to what Jimmy is saying, and because it's he knows what side of the bread the butter goes on, so he's again it's like he's shitting every time he tries to give Jimmy a joke.
However, in October, House Leader Kevin McCarthy was
different guy. McCartney is one of the Beatles. Kevin is I think he's got a nephew, Kevin McCartney. This would be Kevin McCarthy.
More cautious, saying the Republicans wouldn't write a blank check for Ukraine. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, nobody is.
Hey, the squad, nowhere to be seen as Ukraine package sails through.
Well, she had to be scolding people for wasting time about a nonsense laptop story. She didn't have time for this. We could be doing more important things than this, talking about this.
So that they're all war pigs. The squad, Bernie.
Yeah, the squad, Bernie. They're war pigs. They just like roast marshmallows on the corpses of the dead. They don't believe that this is a real fight for freedom. They don't believe in what the Ukrainians are doing. It's just because they've bought into the war machine and they're just intoxicated by the whole thing. Fucking hell.
They're all war pigs, and
they're all war pigs. They're all they're war pigs. They're warmongers and war pigs, which is, by the way, a propaganda word floated by the Russian trolls online to try and that's how they focus grouped attacking people that can make them respond online. Call them a warmonger, call them a war pig. Warmonger didn't work very well, so now they're on war pig, and he's using it.
They're being out-lefted by Matt Gaetz.
They're all war pigs, and yet they're still taken off the committees.
And they're doing.
Gee, it's almost like you're full of shit and not them.